it's no secret that study space is definitely a concern for students like you and I. I personally think that it is time to get creative with the resources we have available on campus and use it to the most efficient and maximal capabilities. Last year and last term, the union did a study space audit of all the places on campus that we can actually use and how effective they are and helpful for our studying. If I'm elected, I promise to use these study spaces and convey that information to you in the best and most effective way so that you can get the studying that you want done in the way that you would like. Furthermore, I think it's time to also use alternative spaces such as the turret, Senate and board chambers, as well as the concourse and classrooms, and coordinate between all of those different campus partners so that we, again, have more spaces for us to study.
Study space, study space, study space, study space. It's a big issue. All of us, we know that. And what I've been hearing over the years in law is study space. We want to improve study space, we want to increase study space. To be realistic with you, we don't have space. The student union, the population is growing every day. We have to make use of what we have. What we have here is we have to use classrooms. That's what I want to do. We want to use classrooms. Students should go in there and study when these classrooms are free. Students, I'm going to update students about this by posting them on the TVs. We have tons of monitors everywhere. You go around campuses, you see tons of monitors. We want to use them to update students about where to study. For the science students, we want to leave the building open during weekends for students to go in there and study. Because they close them around 5. So we want to maximize the availability of students to go in and study. That's what I want to do for the science student.
Whenever I talk to students on campus, and I've spoke to a lot of students and staff, it's always study space is the big one, the first thing they say. So for me, it's all about innovation. Innovation works in 2 ways. It's creating something new, and it's building upon things that already exist. So sometimes the second one is harder, but that's really what we have to do here because we don't have the money to go build a new building. So I've been in contact with the library, the head librarian there, and talked about renovations on that first floor to create a 24-hour secure study space. Another issue there is just looking at basics, what we have in our main areas, concourse, science atrium, business atrium, tables, chairs, making more efficient designs there to make sure that our students have a place where they can study. I mean, during exam time especially, it becomes incredibly cramped, and looking at the closure of the dining hall space as well, that's created a huge increase in volume in the other major areas in the school. So it's priority for me because it's priority for you. It's the number one issue all the time that I hear. So definitely looking at making that platform issue.
Some great initiatives have been started already with regards to study space on both campuses. I think these creative ways need to continue. I think we can relook at spaces that are already on campus that exist, but students don't have access to, such as tutorial rooms, boardrooms, and classrooms. Many students can't book these spaces out during high times. So I believe that we can work with the university and use these spaces to our full advantage.
It's no secret that study space is an issue on campus at Laurier. As we see continuing growing student populations and yet no continuing growing study space, it's no doubt that things are going to get a little constrained. So we need to work proactively with the university to intensify current study space and explore other options of what is available on campus already. In my first year, there was an opportunity for students to use classroom spaces during peak periods such as midterms and final examinations. It really opened up a lot of extra space for students where there was plugs and adequate internet access and tables that they could use. One of the things we've done this year in the University Affairs Department to address that is introduce the CommuniSpace in the concourse, where there's an opportunity for students to come in, study, have access to internet, have access to plugs, and work with their fellow students on projects or whatever else is going on. Something I hope to continue to do in the future.